Hey, yo, how you doing? This is your man Fojigana back again. Thank you for the way you're supporting this channel. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and comment so we can grow this channel together. Now, today's news about Arsenal's pursuit of a number 9 of a striker has brought us to another name, Santiago Gimenez, who plays for Feyenoord. Now, this is one player who has been likened to a legend of the club, Robin Van Persie. Now, I know Robin Van Persie is a striker who divides a lot of opinion amongst Arsenal supporters because the way he left the club was not the best way. You know, he left the club when he was on a high. He had scored lots of goals and then he went to Manchester United, and that season Man U won the Premier League. But that aside, he was a truly gifted player. And for a striker to be likened to Robin Van Persie, we have to look at this striker. And right now, we have 3 players on Arsenal's striker shortlist. Of course, we have Victor Osimhen from Napoli, whom Arsenal have been chasing for a better part of the month now, almost a month plus now. And we are being told that Manchester United are readying an offer of a player plus cash. And that player is the striker Haaland, whom they want to give to Napoli plus cash to get Victor Osimhen. So quite some competition there from Manchester United for this striker. We are also chasing Victor Gyökeres from Sporting Lisbon, prolific striker, one whom, depending on which sources you're listening to, we are being told that could be at an advanced stage in terms of him coming to Arsenal Football Club. But now Santiago Gimenez is also coming through on that shortlist for Arsenal Football Club. Now, at 23 years old, Santiago Gimenez fits that mold of a young forward with scope for improvement, which Arsenal are looking to sign this summer. So this striker was actually born in Argentina. He moved to Mexico when he was 2 years old with his parents, and that's where his development took place, in a club there in Mexico, before he was taken up by Feyenoord in 2022 season when he was 21 years old. Now, at Feyenoord, he met Robin Van Persie, who was coaching the under-18s. And by his own admission, Van Persie played a big role to the kind of striker he is today. And that's why no wonder he is being likened to Robin Van Persie. But we also know that Van Persie used to play for Feyenoord before Arsenal came in and took him in that 2004 season when he was only 20 years old. Now, looking at the records playing for Feyenoord, you can see why they're being likened to each other. You can see Van Persie played 76 games in total and he scored 21 goals and had 10 assists, while Gimenez has scored 49 goals in 86 appearances and has 11 assists. So he's more prolific. But of course, Gimenez at 21 to 23 years is older than Van Persie, who was about 19 to 20 years when these records were taken. So this doesn't really reflect right because the age difference is there. But you can see Gimenez is a prolific striker from this record. Now, Van Persie, a very interesting player for Arsenal Football Club because he came into Arsenal at the end of that prolific season, 2003-2004, the invincible season, with the likes of Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, Robert Pires, Freddie Ljungberg, lots of exciting players at the club. He was only 20 years old, but he was a strong character. Lauren, who's a former right back at Arsenal Football Club, spoke about the young Robin Van Persie, and he said that this player made an impression to his teammates the moment he walked into the dressing room. He says, you could see his personality and self-confidence. It was arrogance, but in a positive way. You could clearly see his talent too. It was like he had a bow in his leg. When he controlled and kicked the ball, it was as if he shot an arrow at the goalkeeper. You could tell from the beginning he will become the player he ended up being. So clearly, you can see this player made a big impression on his teammates. And how did he fare after that? He had quite a contrasting first year at Arsenal Football Club. In fact, at one time, the Telegraph unleashed a scathing attack on Robin Van Persie, saying that he does not use his brain. And the game in point here was the away game at St. Mary's at Southampton, when during the first half, Robin Van Persie was on a yellow card. And one of the Southampton players was given a red card because of a second yellow card. So Wenger, being an experienced manager, knew that the referee was going to try to equalize things by targeting an Arsenal player and giving them a red card as well. So during the halftime break, Wenger went straight to Van Persie and told him, look, you're on a yellow card. Please don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything crazy. Don't tackle. Yeah, just stay calm, play your game, and be careful. Don't get that second yellow card. And what happens barely 5 minutes into the second half? Van Persie is trying to dribble near the midline. He loses the ball and he goes on a 2-footed challenge onto a Southampton player. Straight, he gets a red card and he's trudging off the pitch. Now, Wenger is there with his long arms open, asking him, what did I tell you 5 minutes ago? You should have... And of course, Wenger was disappointed and bewildered with this player. But that just sums up what Van Persie was at that time. He was a mercurial talent, but who had a lot of raw edges and a lot of developing to do. And so that was 2005. He goes on to the summer break and he had some police case, which I can't actually go into detail here. So at that time, actually, Arsenal were preparing for his exit or his inability to play by signing another player called Alexander Kleb. But as it was, he was cleared of those charges and he came back to the club. Now, Van Persie takes it up from here and he says, when he came back to the club, he went straight to Wenger and told him, why don't you play me more? I'm a top player. Why don't you play me more? Wenger looked at him in the eye and told him that you're not a top player, Robin. You know, why are you not a top player? There are so many top players around you. And Van Persie told him, so what do I need to do? And he told him, I'm not going to tell you. You go find out for yourself. Find out why you're not a top player. So Van Persie goes and looks at other players. He says from that moment on, he started looking at the runs that the likes of Thierry Henry, Robin Van Persie, Freddie Ljungberg, Patrick Vieira, and of course the legend Dennis Bergkamp, how they ran, how they conducted themselves in training, how they conducted themselves actually during the games. And from that, he picked up a few things and improved his game. And by 2005, November thereabout, he had scored 8 goals in 8 matches. He actually ended up being the player of the month November in 2005. As they say, the rest is history, because after that, Van Persie became a top consistent player for Arsenal Football Club. The only thing that hampered him a lot was that he was very vulnerable to injury. They say that his feet were made of glass, and that's why he was not as prolific and he didn't score as many goals as he perhaps could have if he had stayed fit throughout his stay at Arsenal Football Club. Now, his most prolific season for Arsenal Football Club was that 2011-2012 season when he finished with a career high of 30 Premier League goals in one season. That was really magnificent. And he got awarded the PFA Player of the Season. Then he followed that up in the 2012-2013 season when he scored 26 goals for Manchester United on their way to winning the title that season. So a very prolific striker on his day, very good on the ball. Actually, I can say I've not seen a striker, apart from Thierry Henry, who has played for Arsenal Football Club during my time watching the club, who has been as good, as dangerous as Robin Van Persie. He was absolutely incredible. In terms of his scoring, he could score from anywhere. He could smash the ball like crazy. You know, he could shoot from outside the box, could shoot from inside the box. He had this tendency to just hook the ball up from anywhere, whether it's coming high or low. He could just smash it into the net. In fact, I can say that I've never seen a better left-footed striker at Arsenal Football Club than Robin Van Persie. Actually, even in the Premier League, he compares very well with the best that have been. He's third on the overall list of left-footed goals, of course, coming after Mo Salah and Robbie Fowler. But this guy was absolutely incredible for Arsenal Football Club. The amount of goals he scored and his sheer presence, the way he celebrated his goals, he was incredible to watch. And he had that presence. You know that when you had Robin Van Persie in the team, he had that X factor and predictability where he can score from any angle at any time in the game, and he can actually change the game for you. He could score from free kicks, he could score from headers, he could score from his left foot, right foot. He was a complete forward, and he also brought other players into the game. Now, he is being compared to Santiago Gimenez. Why the comparison? Let's have a look and see how the two compare. Now, apart from their goal record at Feyenoord, Gimenez, of course, right now, 23 years old, coming into Feyenoord in his first season, 2002-2003, he scored 23 goals in 45 appearances in his debut campaign, which was absolutely incredible. And he had lots of clubs in Europe looking to sign him, but he decided to stay at Feyenoord for another season. And in that season, he has racked up a very impressive 26 goals in 41 appearances in all competitions. Now, 14 goals of those came in the last 17 appearances of the season, which is incredible. He's got a shot conversion rate of 25.29% from an XG of 21.25%. That is the hallmark of a top striker. And Arsenal will not go wrong to look at this player. Now, he's not that tall, you know, compared with people like Havertz, who are 6'4". He's 6 foot flat, but he's got that upper body strength. You know, he's able to hold off defenders with his back to goal, and he's able to sense when a defender is coming to tackle him from behind, and he's able to turn sharply and shoot. Now, that is one area we saw Van Persie excelling at from time to time, where he's able to hold over a defender with his back to goal and then turn up sharply before the defender can react and unleash a shot with his left foot. Just like Van Persie also, he's not the kind of player who will stay in the central position waiting for the ball to come in. He's able to go out to the wing and dribble into the box and score. He's also able to bring other players into the game because his all-round play is excellent. He can dribble, he can create space for himself, he can press, so allowing other players to come into the game. He's also able to play on the shoulder of the defender, run behind the defender and get the ball coming through the lines. He's got excellent positioning in and around the penalty box. He's very decisive. He can jump on a loose ball and just score straight away. He's able to create space for himself to shoot and just unleash the shot without any delay. He is a complete number 9. And you can see how he can add an element of clinical finishing to the Arsenal team that we are currently missing. I actually compare him to Suarez in terms of his overall play. He's the kind of player who can bring a lot of verve, energy, interchange of play in that forward position. You can actually imagine a scenario where he's holding over a defender, Martinelli is running from that left wing, he slots Martinelli in, Martinelli scores. Or he sprays it wide to Martinelli, Martinelli returns it back to him, and he scores. So this is one player that I am sure will improve our link-up play in that final third. You know, sometimes we seem to lack ideas in that final third when you keep passing the ball left, right, back. We can have a player there who can actually be the pivot and then bring other players from the wing coming into the box. That will be exciting. So this is a player who I cannot wait to see wearing the Arsenal shirt. Of course, we are told that Victor Osimhen and Victor Gyökeres are the top 2 targets, but Santiago Gimenez has come into the frame now and is equally a very good player. So Arsenal will not go wrong to look at this player, and hopefully he can have a similar return of goals like Robin Van Persie had in that last season at Arsenal Football Club. Thank you for listening. Please take a moment to subscribe, like and comment so we can keep bringing more content like this to you, and we can grow this channel together to make it a big channel for Arsenal fans everywhere. God bless. Bye-bye.